Hey guys, it's Book of Katherine. So I've just been watching some videos. It's been a little while since I've looked at anything luxury, like any kind of luxury videos, and I was just digging through those again. And I know I did my video a long time ago at the beginning of my channel about Hermes bags, and I was tired of seeing, if you haven't seen it, it's right here, because I was very tired of seeing people complaining about waiting for an Hermes bag. There's a reason you have to wait for an Hermes bag. It's because they are still handmade, they are still luxury made. 9 out of the top 10 luxury brands are now made in China, and that one luxury brand that is not made in China is Hermes. So there is a reason you have to wait for it, because all the people who do handmade work, they're working at Hermes, and it takes forever to get a bag. Do I think it's worth getting a bag at Hermes? No, I don't. I don't think it is. I mean, it is, there's a certain clientele that is for it, but do I think it's for someone who is anywhere near, middle class, upper middle class? No. No, 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 no. They wear out very, very quickly. Like, Hermes bags wear out very fast. They're leather bags. They don't have a lot of support in them. They're not meant to be they're meant to be collector bags or whatever, or shown off or whatever and stuff like that. They're extremely expensive. They are kind of like candy for people who have money that can treat them like candy. And they're also meant for people who, there are families that stay within the Hermes brand that wear them all the time. And it is just, it's not worth it. If you're looking for a bag, in my opinion, if you're going to go around and if you're going to spend like $2,000 on a bag, if you're going to be going around the city and stuff like that, in my opinion, there's two things that you should be getting from a bag. Like, number one, you should be getting respect from a bag. If you're going to spend money on a bag and you're walking around town, it should up your game. Like, your bag tells people who you are. It tells them how much taste you have, how smart you are. Like, it tells them your taste level, and it tells them how smart you are. And it tells them a lot about you. It tells them about how you're able to choose color, how you're able to use shape, like, does it fit your body? Is it the right size on you? If you buy a brand that's just super popular and everything like that, do you know what it tells people about you? It tells them that you follow well. That's all it does. It tells them that you follow well. So if you go into an interview, or if you go into a job, or you're going around the workplace and they see you buying the latest bag, it just means, okay, you follow well. And it makes you look good maybe with people who also follow, but it's not going to get you anywhere. And when you walk into a store and the people you're trying to impress are not going to be impressed. Like, you want to walk around and earn the respect of the people that you're looking for. I think that's why people are buying these bags, or because they think they're impressing people. But the fact of the matter is that it may be impressing people. Like, the people who don't buy those bags aren't impressed. They don't buy them because they think it's dumb to buy those bags. So then you walk around and you've got a good chunk of the population thinking that you've wasted your money when they see you with that bag. Number one. Number two, then there's another part of the population that sees you with that bag that's like, could give you a job, could give you respect, could move you up in the world, could date you, all these sorts of things. But they see you, and they see you with that bag, and they're just like, oh, they're a follower. They just buying that to fit in or whatever and stuff like that. And then they see you like that way. And then there's the third population, that very, very slim population that's on YouTube, that follows the Vogue magazines, that understands what world you're in, and that is also a follower, and just happens to be that. And if you are trying to impress that very, very slight thing of people who are exactly like you, who will never ever be able to maybe hire you, who will maybe hang out with you and be your friend, but usually they're your competitor. Okay, like, if you're buying your bag to look good for them, and that's very, very small population, that's fine. Go for it. But, like, when I buy a bag, and when my friends and I, like the rest of my friends, and just about every woman that name me a woman that doesn't like to walk around and get a compliment like, that's a nice bag. Name me a woman that doesn't like that. Like when I see a woman with a bag and it looks just the bomb, I'm like, that's a nice bag. They love that. Your goal should be when you wear a bag, people are like, dang, nice bag, nice bag, nice bag. That's a sweet bag. That's a whole other thing. And if you wear Hermes, like that means you have to wear it all the time and that wears out quickly. And that's not going to be worth a $24,000 investment. That's why you don't see a lot of women wearing Birkins around unless they're up in that echelon. And then they're not really wearing it around the city, the same place that you're traveling. It's not going to, it's going to be a very, very different thing. And they have the ability to like trade them out. Like, you know, they can wear it around and it can get bumped and then they just trade it out for the next one. You're not going to be able to do that with Hermes. Like, you're not going to have the money for that. And, you know, you can go ahead and leave it up on your wall and then, you know, maybe show it in the background for videos. You know, maybe, but do you know the right sellers, you know, to end up getting the right kind of upscale? It's going to take a while and all that sort of thing. I always say, like, if you're going to have that much money, if you're going to have $24,000, invest that in property, please. Invest that in property, something that you know. Something that you know that you can rent out, you can get something, get rental property back, buy property for yourself, do something like that. I don't know, just, there are other things. But, you know, get yourself an actual condo or an apartment that's a down payment on a house. You know, $20,000 is down payment on a house. You know, some of these women have bags, they have entire closets, and I'm like, that one closet is a down payment on a home. You know, that you can have for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. You know, that's security for the rest of your life. So, when you get a bag, you know, remember that it says a lot about you and you want to be telling people, number one, it's utility, but number two, it's you want to be like, what am I telling the world about me? And you want to tell them that you have taste. And you want to tell them that you have class. And you want to tell them that you're strong. And that you cannot be pushed around. All of those sorts of things. Like you want to tell them or that you're pretty. Or that you're fun. Or whatever it is and stuff like that. So, and a lot of times when you have a bag that looks really, really different, that no one knows where it came from, which you can get through vintage or you can get secondhand, you can get different brands. There are brands out there right now that are handmade or that are partially handmade out there right now that are not at the top. Like they're even at like New York Fashion Week this year. There were brands that like they're not writing, like the people who get mentioned in New York Fashion Week papers are only the ones who are paying the most for those ad revenues. Like only the ones that are getting that big money behind them. Those are the ones that are getting mentioned. But, you know, you go through the fashion shows and like some I'm just like China. You know, like if you go, you know, we had a trip just recently into up Fifth Avenue and there are actually people visiting from another country that were saying like, I thought I just saw that over in Sears. You know, like that's not happening on Fifth Avenue. Like the displays. They thought the displays looked like Sears on Fifth Avenue because the things are so cheaply made. But there are other things happening on Fifth Avenue. Like there are other things off of Fifth Avenue. There were other people that were happening in New York Fashion Week that had amazing, amazing high quality clothing. And so you want to tell people how high quality you are. So the whole point is to get high quality things. And you can do that with Chanel, but you're not going to be able to do that with Chanel with things that are made now. You have to be very, very careful with that. You don't want to get things that are like, you got to start doing your research and stuff. Start buying Vestois and start reading up and start finding out. So no, I don't think that you should be buying Hermes just because I was saying don't complain. I was saying please don't complain about the reason why, you know, the reason why there's long lines and things like that. And if, you know, I was trying to go through the reasoning, but do you need to buy a bag from there? Heck no, you don't need to buy a bag from there. Do I think that it's reasonable? Do I know anyone that's buying, you know, what they're putting out today? Are you kidding? You go ahead and take one of your $2,000 bags and then go ahead and walk your butt over to Payless Shoe Store and go ahead and put it next to a purse there. And you tell me the difference in quality. You know, you tell me the difference in quality. And then you go ahead and you take your Chanel bag and you go ahead and find a vintage store and then you put it down to a purse there. Or you take it next to, just compare this difference between, if you can, find a Chanel bag from 30 years ago. You know, find a Chanel bag from 20 years ago. And compare, sit them side by side, and it will be night and day. It will be night and day. And that makes all the difference. And so you have to look at something that fits you. It should fit you. It should fit your personality. It should fit your quality level. It tells people so much about you. And you would be amazed at what you're telling the world about yourself when you're buying just what the advertising tells you you should. When you just buy what the big ads, you know, big ads, big shiny ads say buy this. And so you buy this, you know, and that's, so who are you trying to impress? Like, who is that impressing? And think about where you want to go in life. What is it that you want to achieve in life? And will that get you there? Will the people who can get you there, will they be impressed by these things? That's the key goal. If they will be impressed by these things, if they're like, oh, I'm only interested in raising up people who buy these things, you know, who are dressed in these things, if that's what they look for in order to raise them up, all for it, baby, all for it. But you may think that's the way it is in the fashion houses, and that's, you know, the fashion houses want you to freaking look good. That doesn't necessarily mean wearing Chanel toe-to-toe from today. So beware. Be really, really aware of what you're trying to sell and whether or not it's getting you the goals that you want in life. And Hermes is absolutely stunning and gorgeous and everything like that, but I was not saying that you should go out and buy Hermes at all. That is meant for a different, that is meant for a different, you know, strata. You know what I mean? That's meant for a different strata. That's meant for an extreme strata. And it's also, you know, meant for, quite frankly, Hermes is meant, you know, for people who are involved with horses, you guys. It's not meant for the general public. Quite frankly, like, that's why everything has horseshoes on it and stuff like that. Like, that's why it's, if you ride, okay, start considering Hermes. So if you really have to get something, if we want to be straight, if you really have to get something from Hermes, you shouldn't be thinking about a bag. You should be thinking about a scarf. That's the thing. A scarf. The scarf will last you for forever. You can wear it 5 million different ways, and people will be impressed by an Hermes scarf. That is impressive. It is beautiful. It is stunning. Everyone knows an Hermes scarf when they see it. Stands out. Nobody makes scarves like Hermes. They are famous for that. If you really want to invest in something, forget the bag. Go for the scarf. All right. There you go. Love you guys. Bye.